Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's Unseen video. This is where we round up all the talking points from social media. We're going to get straight into the WWE folder. So again, Tiffany, Charlotte, this thing, honestly, it's been one of the biggest talking points in the build to WrestleMania. Not the actual build to the match, just how much these two seemingly don't like each other. Here was Tiffany on a podcast recently. She commented on this, didn't say much, but she said, I don't think she expected me to almost clap back. All I have to say is, it's live TV, stakes are high, we're going into WrestleMania. So that was Tiffany just briefly talking about her segment that she had with Charlotte. I believe that's the first time she's actually publicly commented on that segment, so interesting. She's obviously not going to go into too many details, but who knows? When she gets around to her autobiography, we might get some juicy details then. Right, Edward, shout out to you. So as per WrestleVotes, Randy Orton is still set to compete at WrestleMania 41. We've spoke about this a couple of times before, but I know not everyone gets a chance to watch every Unseen. So there's lots of information in each of the Unseens. And that information keeps kind of coming back around. So we have covered this before, but it's worth just mentioning again. His new opponent is expected to be announced very soon. Obviously, a big talking point is who is that new opponent going to be? There are a few thoughts in this video. We'll get to those. This coming out of WWE. Obviously, this is Nick Aldis just making another match official.
Hello everyone, it's your SmackDown General Manager, Nick Aldis. A lot to react to from last week's episode of SmackDown, not the least of which being that RKO from Randy Orton. But a social media video is certainly not the time and place for me to address that, which is not to say that I won't address it at some point. What I'm here to do right now is make a match official for WrestleMania. And I'm here to announce that Drew McIntyre will go one-on-one with Damian Priest at WrestleMania.
So there we go. Not the biggest news because we sort of knew that we were getting this match anyway. I think the reason I wanted to play that video was because of the comment about how that RKO will be addressed. Some people thinking this may be the person that faces Randy. I'm not leaning that way personally. I haven't heard any rumor that Nick Aldis is now going to be an in-ring competitor. As well as that, I don't know if he's in ring shape. I mean, I don't know, whilst he's been doing this kind of GM role, has he kind of neglected actually getting in a ring, taking bumps? Or has it been a little while? I don't know that you can just turn that back on a week out from WrestleMania. So for me, I think there's quite a few options on the table. This is one, and I really like Nick Aldis as well. I'd love for it to be Nick Aldis, but I just don't think it's going to go that way. But let's see, because he did say that he's not going to just leave that RKO and not deal with it, but it's just a video on social media is not the right place. Right, this is crazy. So back to the Charlotte thing, right? So this is coming from WrestleVotes, and we're actually now starting to find out what the promo should have been. I think this promo is really interesting to see it written down, because I read this and I think that it's mid. I think that I can tell and I can see them delivering these lines, and I can see what the community reaction would have been to that. And I honestly think we would have gone, it was all right. It's really weird to see a promo written down. I'll read it, of course, and visualize Charlotte saying it, visualize Tiffany saying it, and then think about what would the community reaction be if we actually got that promo. And I genuinely think the community reaction would be, it's all right. Didn't really do a great deal. It was, could have been some better lines in there. I honestly think that, I think what we got was way more of a talking point than what the promo was actually meant to be, right? So let's have a look at it anyway. So Charlotte was meant to say that the comparisons between her and Tiffany Stratton were always annoying and that they pee her off. Charlotte was going to say that while it was a blessing for Tiffany to be compared to her, it is an insult to the Queen, and that at WrestleMania she will take what's rightfully hers. Tiffany was set to interrupt her and ask Charlotte why she has only had 30 matches in the last 3 years, or what makes Charlotte think that she has been gone for so long and she's got any right to call herself the leader of the women's division. Tiffany was then supposed to say that Charlotte can call herself a queen, but she has no kingdom. Charlotte would then tell Tiffany that the only reason she is champion is because the Money in the Bank briefcase was a ski lift that brought her straight to the top of the mountain. And now it seems like Princess Tiffy is afraid of heights and can't handle the pressure. Tiffany was then going to respond by saying it's great that Charlotte was able to climb back to the top, but it also means that 13 times she couldn't do what real champions do, and that is win. And at WrestleMania, she will fall back down the mountain. So I think like the 13 times thing is really interesting because we use that as a kind of benchmark. We use that as an indicator of someone that has had a lot of success. Like John Cena is trying to be a 17-time world champion. So it's kind of really interesting that WWE are, promoting that. Can he do it again? Can he be a 17-time world champion? Like, that's a massive achievement. But then here in this promo, we've got Tiffany going, the fact you've been a 13-time champion shows that you've lost it, 12 times. So it kind of feels like WWE on the one side are like, wow, isn't this amazing? John Cena, he's going to be a 17-time champ if he wins. Oh my God, that's amazing. And then on the other side, they're like, 13-time champ, that must mean you've lost a lot. So I kind of feel like those 2 points kind of counter each other. Not that it massively matters. These are obviously two very different feuds and two very different people. But that's why that line wouldn't have massively landed for me, because we're also telling the exact opposite story with John Cena this year, and actually being a multiple-time champion is actually very impressive. And yeah, I don't know, stuff to do with mountains, stuff to do with ski lifts, the whole Queen thing has been done to death. I sort of look at this promo and I'm like, I'm all right with us not getting this. If this is what we were meant to get, I'm all right with them going off-road, because what we ended up with was a way bigger talking point. And I made this point during the Wrestling Escape Pods, the podcast we do on a Thursday. I was like, I actually think them going off-road has made this a much bigger match now. Everyone's going to want to see if something goes wrong during the match. Everyone's going to tune in to want to know, did they start shoot fighting? They really don't like each other. So how did the match go? Everyone is going to want to know how this match went, because everyone knows there's some real bad blood here. What they ended up doing was way better than what they were planned to do. That's my bottom line. But that was not very professional, whereas that is. So, so those are my thoughts on that. Right, in regards to this, so Praying User Sports asking what I think about this as well. So sources indicate WrestleMania 41 could feature 15 matches, maybe 14 is more likely. So the matches still to be announced are Randy Orton against we don't know, Drew against Damian we saw got announced earlier, and apparently War Raiders against New Day is being discussed. That could happen, and possibly with a stipulation. So these are the other matches. So yeah, it doesn't look like anything for the Wyatt Six, but no surprise there. We're so close to WrestleMania now, it would have been a big surprise if they'd have been put into a feud or a match or something. Obviously, we don't know how Alexa is going to fit into anything. Is she going to find her way into that tag match? Obviously, we've got the gauntlet on SmackDown. Winners will go and face Liv and Raquel. No sign of Liv. Plus also no sign of Alexa. Plus we don't know who her partner would be. Obviously we're guessing Nikki Cross, but how did they get together? So yeah, no, doesn't look like anything's happening there either. So that's the latest. Looks like there's going to be 15 matches. We've had a lot announced. These are the ones that could still be added. Sam said, as it stands, the Street Profits are set to defend their titles on SmackDown rather than WrestleMania, although that could change. That coming from WrestleVotes. So if we look at Rev Death, man, I've only just noticed her face. She's mean mugging, isn't she? So yeah, it looks like we could get New Day War Raiders. Doesn't look like the SmackDown tag titles are going to make it. Aaron, shout out to you. So WWE have filed the trademark SnackDown, which I really like. Sort of suggests that there might be some sort of food line coming in, which I really like the idea of. Don't know that we would get it here in the UK or Europe. Might be America only. We know that there is a food station at the headquarters where the headquarter employees go to grab drinks and snacks, and that is called SnackDown. They actually showed that before the new headquarters opened. So that is a word, a name they already use. I don't think they would need to trademark it, though, because it's only at the headquarters. So I do wonder if this is maybe a new line, a new kind of product line that they could look to introduce. So, yeah, very interested. See where that goes. J-Dog, shout out to you. Here's Charlotte. So we've heard actually Tiffany's side earlier for the first time. Let's actually see what Charlotte's got to say. So Charlotte says, after being blindsided by my personal trauma being on live television, my character said something on air that was not true. And I would like to take this opportunity to clear the air. I should have never called the Chicago fans smart, and I sincerely apologize. Listen, haters are gonna hate, but that's a great line. That's a great line. I thought that was a really fun message to send out. Stand your grounds. What's happened has happened. The only person she needs to apologize to, or the only person she needs to speak to, is Tiffany, and Tiffany's got plenty to apologize for as well in regards to bringing up Charlotte's failed marriages. The Kaiser line is a line that she should apologize for and make it very clear that's not true. But I think we all knew that anyway. But yeah, make no mistake, both of these women went off-road in that segment. So, you know, it is what it is. I kind of like her publicly coming out and coming out with a little line like that. Hayden, shout out to you. So yeah, Ivan Koloff, the family of Ivan Koloff just putting a message out, which is amazing. So deserved that Ivan Koloff goes in. The Koloff family is very thankful that WWE is honoring Ivan and that he will take his place in the WWE Hall of Fame 2025. Thank you to all that believed in Ivan. May God bless you all. So some lovely words there for Ivan Koloff, who is one of the three that have been named as going in the legacy wing of the Hall of Fame. And as we said, all three massively deserve that honor. And nice to hear from Ivan Koloff's family, I would imagine. Friends, family. I'm not sure who runs his account. Right, Princess Kutab Itch. Thank you, tagging me in this Sheamus post. No message attached or quoted or anything. Literally 2 words. I'm available, which has got to be in regards to Randy Orton. It's got to be that Sheamus is saying, I'm available. Imagine that. Randy Orton, Sheamus. It would bang. Sheamus could take the L, but it would bang. I don't hate that option. There is an option we're going to take a look at, though, that I think I would rather go for a little bit later here in this video. Oh, mate. 1.3 million views on this tweet, right? Kylie Rae, smiley Kylie Rae said, MFers are way too comfortable criticizing wrestlers when they've never even stepped foot in a ring. I don't even know where to start with this, to be honest. First thing I'm going to say, I really like Kylie Rae. So whatever I'm about to say is no knock of her. I really like her. I enjoy watching her on Evolve. I will continue to support her. I will continue to enjoy watching her on Evolve. The second thing I'm going to say this message isn't quite what you think it might be. So this is based on Jordynne Grace's botched splash through the ropes. I think if you were like us and this community, you saw that and you was like, oh, that's funny. That's unfortunate, but oh, that's funny. And that's it, really, right? That's it. I think wrestlers are fine with that. They know that these kind of little mistakes people are going to smile at and have a bit of fun with. No malice, nothing like that. Everything good, okay? Everything good. But unfortunately, there are people online that take things way too far, way too serious. And actually, there has been some really hateful messages. There was one in particular that was like, I don't know if it's the steroids or if she's just a rubbish wrestler, but this is a disgrace. And like really going off on Jordynne Grace for that like botched suicide dive, right? Really going off. And I believe that is what Kylie Rae saw. And so I don't actually think this is a message about how wrestling fans shouldn't have opinions. I think it's more aimed at those that go way too far, way too serious. Their messages are full of hate. There's no joy. There's no banter. I mean, it's just horrible, right? MF is way too comfortable criticizing wrestlers when they've never even stepped foot in the ring. I feel like she's standing up for her friend, and I don't think it's anything more than that. And I think that's it. So I still stand with Kylie Rae. I still support Kylie Rae. All of that still stands. The only extra thing I just want to add here is that if that wasn't what she was saying, if she was saying you can't criticize wrestlers if you've never stepped foot in the ring, obviously I disagree with that, right? Obviously I disagree with that. And as people in her comments have pointed out, because I don't think they know what she's actually referring to here, but what they've said in the comments is, have you ever criticized a film? And if you have you ever directed or acted in a film? How can you say that wrestling fans can't criticize wrestling when people criticize food, but they've never been a chef? They criticize movies, but they've never been a movie maker or an actor. Like, you criticize politicians, but you've never been a politician. Like, how can you say that wrestling fans can't have opinions on wrestling? And I do agree with that. I do agree. How can you say someone can't have an opinion on something just because they've never been in a ring? But then equally, of course, we will criticize politicians. We will criticize movies. We will criticize albums and artists. And do you know what I mean? It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So for me, I really do passionately defend the right of wrestling fans to have their opinions. And I would criticize this if I believed that's the point she was trying to make, but I don't believe it is. I think she was trying to stand up for her friend. So hopefully we've brought some clarity to all of that. So I am still very much on board the smiley Kylie Rae train. She's good. She's a lot of fun. She brings a lot of joy to the Evolve show and our watch along on a Wednesday. So I wish her all the best. Right, Cal said, oh, God days, I feel for your voice. So James actually told me about this during a member stream, but Cal, thank you as well. So apparently there is a 9-hour slot that they have given over on Peacock, is it? Now, I don't know if it's not just a temporary, we don't know how long this is going to go, let's give it 9 hours, right? It might just be that they just pick 9 hours and that is it, right? There is no way that WrestleMania goes 9 hours with a kickoff show. There's rumors that the kickoff show is going to be 3 hours, right? So a 3-hour kickoff show, but there is no way WrestleMania will be 6 hours, right? There is just no way. The only way we can fill this time, the only way, is if we do a 3-hour kickoff show, which is an hour longer than usual. We do a 5-hour WrestleMania. I would expect 4. Last year, both days were around 4, right? So we do 4-hour WrestleMania. We do 3-hour kickoff show. That's still only 7 hours. So we would have to do the press conference as well. Or maybe there's like a post-show thing that goes for a couple of hours, right? But no one should really worry about WrestleMania being like 7 hours or whatever. It just ain't happening. So in my mind, kickoff show, WrestleMania, and post-show is all going to fit into this 9 hours. And even with all of that, I still would not be shocked if we don't fill the 9 hours, right? Because 9 hours each day is pretty ridiculous. I mean, for me, I'll do the live stream as soon as WrestleMania is over. We'll wrap it up. Obviously, we'll need to do reaction clips and videos and reviews and scenes. So I can't say that I'll be massively sticking around for those post shows anyway. So don't get me wrong, still could clock in as being quite a long one. I mean, a 3-hour pre-show and a 4-hour Mania, and we always start a few hours before all of that anyway. So I'll still be putting the hours in, but yeah, I don't expect WrestleMania to be any longer than 4 hours itself. It's just the garnish around it could extend that time. So just something to be aware of. This is really good, and I would play it, but we've already gone quite longer than I was expecting for this part of the video. So this is basically Karrion talking about AJ, and he's like, AJ's phenomenal. Logan Paul is just a, influencer clown, but he is also very good. But Logan knows the only way he can win this match is by cheating. But AJ doesn't see that. He needs to wake up. I think what Karrion's trying to do is he's trying to get AJ to do whatever is necessary, and that might include cheating, to get a win over Logan. And of course, then maybe join forces, right? And have Karrion and AJ together. So that is kind of how I interpreted this video. And he's trying to basically say, look, AJ's too nice of a person to see what's really happening here. There's no way Logan is going to win without cheating. And it's kind of good. I mean, you know how captivating Karrion is. So very good promo. As I said, if we had more time, we would play it. We could probably get away with playing a clip of it, though, right?
The modern day innovator of professional wrestling. A guy who changed the very business that you are all watching, that we are in, through innovation, versus a YouTube shithead. And yeah, he's great, but he's not phenomenal. And I'll tell you what he's great at. He's great at creating a buzz, and he's great at winning. And he is going to win if AJ proceeds forward like this, because he's not going to fight fair. He knows he can't beat AJ Styles if he fights fair. It's not that hard to understand, but for some reason AJ can't figure it out. Let me tell you why. He's not taking time to think about it. Because,
well, we'll never know. But it's very good, isn't it? Very good. Search that out. It's on Karrion's account, right? Right, Larry, shout out to you. Do you think Charlotte is justified in separating herself from the locker room? So apparently she doesn't get changed with the rest of the locker room. And there's two things that I would say to this. First of all, it suggests a disconnect, which I think... I would like to think there's some people back there that are putting an arm around Charlotte. And I know people hate Charlotte. I understand, but I actually feel sorry for Charlotte. I think she gets so much hate. And some of it she brings on herself, right? But she's been through another breakup. And that is going to mess her up. There is more to life than wrestling, apparently. And more to life than money. And I could imagine after having 3 failed marriages... her head being in a real spin. I mean, I don't think she's in a good place personally. And I don't know who's back there putting an arm around her and, checking on her. I don't know that she's got many friends back there. And you can say of her own doing, right? I'm not arguing that, right? I'm not arguing that. She's burnt bridges. She's burnt bridges with Becky, for example, right? But I don't know who's back there, and perhaps she just feels a little bit isolated, and so she's took herself away from the locker room. The other thing as well, though, is that when you do get to a certain level, there's obviously a bit more comfort that you would like in your life. I mean, we've just seen Gunther requesting a tour bus, right? And he's got it as part of his contract. We know that Cody has got his own tour bus, right? These aren't like crazy things. So if Charlotte is now getting changed in a different place, I don't know that it's a tour bus. I wouldn't be surprised if she did have one. I don't know. Are we running the risk of double standards where Gunther asks to get his own tour bus so he can change away from the locker room, but no one criticizes that? But because it's Charlotte that's doing it, that now is open to criticism. So I don't know. I got a few thoughts on that. My big thought is that I just hope that she finds some happiness, because I think that would show in her work if she did. If she was feeling good in herself and had some friends and was enjoying herself, I think that would show in her work. I think the fact her work feels quite spiky, feels quite defensive, feels like she is having to fight for her place on the card. Sort of that is a reflection of, I think, what might be going on in real life. So I don't know. I've got a few thoughts today, haven't I? Look at me. Oh my God. Pray News Sports. Here's some more thoughts. Look, check this out. Randy needs a WrestleMania opponent. Hear me out. Could it be Jeff Hardy? I don't think it will be, but I would love it. Imagine Jeff being the one. Imagine Randy in the ring and we're waiting to find out who he's going to face. And then Jeff Hardy's music hits. Place would erupt. Place would go crazy. And you know, Jeff can take the L. Jeff can take the L. That's no problem. Jeff can take the L. Randy can get the win. But what a great moment. Two legends battling at WrestleMania. That'd be really good. So, Pray News Sports, sign me up. Right, Kamala's family have reacted. So we looked at Ivan Koloff. Here we've got a few thoughts. So Kamala's story wasn't just about the wrestling ring. It was about resilience, growing up in poverty after losing his father at a young age. James worked as a sharecropper to help support his family. It was through sheer determination that he carved out a path to greatness. Known for his intimidating in-ring presence and unforgettable persona, Kamala shared the spotlight with some of wrestling's biggest names: Hogan, Undertaker, Brett, Andre the Giant, many more. These names remind us not only of wrestling's golden era, but of Kamala's rightful place among its legends. Even though the final years were filled with severe health challenges and financial hardship, Kamala's family says his faith never wavered. Through it all, his faith in Jesus Christ remained a constant source of strength. And while Kamala is no longer here to receive the honor in person, the family believes he would be proud beyond words. We know James would be overwhelmed with joy to be welcomed back into the WWE family, a place where he always felt at home. The family closed the message with a powerful statement of gratitude to fans and supporters, saying, "Because of you, Kamala's legacy will forever be etched in the history of professional wrestling. Welcome home, Kamala." That is amazing. That is lovely. That is great. And so deserved. I loved Kamala as a kid. I really, that character really, I wanted to see more for Kamala. And I'm so pleased he's in the Hall of Fame. Right, Alan Cheapshot said, WWE houses over 140,000 tapes between two facilities, one in Stamford and another that's a vault at Iron Mountain in New York State. If there's a fire, there is a gas that gets released. Foam will fill the room and save the tapes from fire. So, I mean, look, I don't know if this is true, but it is not April 1st. Right, so it's not April Fool's. Alan Cheapshot is someone that is a wrestling historian. And so I've got to think that what I'm being told here is true. If WWE have got a facility that houses 140,000 tapes, then why the hell did that footage not find its way onto the WWE network? Is it just that someone hasn't had time to go in there? Because if WWE is watching right now, I'll do it. I'll do it. I will go in there and do whatever work is required, because I feel like that is a job someone needs to do. Like, we need to get all those episodes of Superstars and Wrestling Challenge and All American Wrestling and stuff from the 60s and the 70s. There was so many gaps on the WWE network. So much content that was missing. It is really frustrating to hear, if true, that there was 100 and... I mean, what could they even have 140,000 tapes of? I can only imagine it's like different camera feeds. I can only imagine that, like, each show has got, like, 5 cameras. So each show has got 5. Perhaps it's something like that. Because they certainly have not done 140,000 shows. So it's got... And a lot of them shows aren't even taped if they're live events. So, I don't know. I've got to think it's all the different camera feeds and whatever. I would also like to think that a lot of those episodes that we just spoke about are in there. And that they will come to light one day. So, yeah, fascinating. The fact that they've got a vault, Iron Mountain, right, that apparently is like in the Catskill Mountains. I don't know if that's an actual image of it, but it's really cool if it is. It looks great. So, yeah. Oh, and yeah, so Carl Anderson on a podcast was saying that maybe The Rock has chiseled himself off of Mount Rushmore. He was kind of hinting that he is aware of some backstage stuff that might have happened, right? This is really interesting. Really interesting. So here he says, The Rock has always been on my Mount Rushmore. I would put The Rock on Mount Rushmore, but maybe, just maybe, he might be chiseled off that Mount Rushmore now. There's just a little bit of disappointment, but he doesn't go into detail why. He's kind of suggesting he's aware of something and aware of things that have maybe happened behind the scenes, right? Anderson didn't go into full detail yet, but he hinted that things he's seen behind the scenes since The Rock's WWE board involvement have shifted his entire perception. He's obviously the greatest star in Hollywood, but now that he's clearly on the board and he's running the WWE, right? It's clear he added just trailing off in frustration. So I wonder if there's been these big changes, right? Because Gallows backed him up by saying corporate wrestling changes everything, teasing that they know a lot of shiz that we probably shouldn't, and they're ready to talk about it. Anderson also called out a moment that made him feel completely disconnected from the current WWE culture. When I saw people running up to The Rock backstage at Gorilla and asking for pictures, in Gorilla, I was like, I gotta get out. This ain't for me, bro. So I'm guessing that's wrestlers running up to The Rock saying, can I get a picture? And he was like, nah, this ain't for me. Interesting. I don't think that's what he's upset about. That's not The Rock's fault. But it suggests that he's been told or has seen things. He's seen things. Right, let's go fun, shall we? Yeah, so check this out. So here we've got Dream Eater, Jade Cargill. She shared this picture, right? And then Dark Phoenix T, shout out to you. This picture emerged, which you can see is different, right? And here, Trinity said, I really slayed my last photo shoot. What do you think? And that's from Naomi. And I was like, and Naomi has actually photoshopped her face onto Jade Cargill's face. And Jade's like, the obsession is scary. I mean, it is actually. It is. That is like a real weird stalkery thing to do. She's took this photo shoot and she's photoshopped her own face onto Jade Cargill. So This feud taking a little bit of a dark turn. It's all getting a little bit stalkery now, isn't it? So that was doing the rounds today. Right, Rey Mysterio on April 18th is going to be appearing at that venue, whatever that venue is. You're right, Rey will be at Cricket for our WrestleMania meet and greet. So there we go. If you want to meet Rey in Las Vegas on April 18th, he's going to be at the Cricket store, maybe. This one's a bit easier. It's Walmart. So there we go. So Jey Uso is going to be in Las Vegas at Walmart, the Super Center, at that address on April 17th. So if you're in the area, you want to meet Jey, then there you go. So Larry, thank you. Wrestle Night, shout out to you. Pharaoh, look at that merch. There's Pharaoh with the Cody Rhodes kind of logo on his face. That looks great, doesn't it? That looks great. I've seen some big reactions to this. People like, what? Look at that. Even the graphic with, like, Cody, it's so not his character. It's so strange. I don't really know why they've leaned this way for him. But it's pretty fun. Let's have some fun, says Cody. So there we go. It's pretty fun, isn't it? It's kind of like he's got into a partnership with a rapper or something. But there we go. New merch. Casper, shout out to you. So Bro took Cena's soul and then disappeared. He did, didn't he? No word on The Rock for WrestleMania at the moment, although I do expect him to be there. So Casper, shout out to you. Here's Bianca, right? So it was Bianca's birthday. So she's put together this little video. She said a birthday was had, a time was had. So here she is on her birthday morning, grabbing Montez, who's still half asleep. And here we go, they're celebrating away. There we go. Look, he's getting into it now that he's woken up. So these two dancing, celebrating, going to the gym, doing a little bit of working out, dancing away as well. So we're just getting a glimpse, really, as to what they got up to. And here they are. I don't know if they're at home or at a hotel or whatever, but pillow fights. Pinning as well. Bianca getting the 3 on Montez. There we go. Look, just dancing away. Are they on a little break? It looks like they're on a little break, don't they? Gone away for a few days. There they are in the pool, having a drink, having a good time. So I really like the video because it's just a little glimpse as to, you know, what wrestlers get up to in their spare time, their free time. And there we go. So there we go. A birthday was had. A time was had. Right. Yeet or no yeet?
Pineapple on pizza. Going to the gym in the morning. Jumping into a pool fully clothed. Taking the stairs instead of the elevator.
He's having to think about that one.
Accidentally walking into the wrong room and pretending like you meant to.
I would eat that.
Staying up all night binge watching TV shows.
Yeah.
Pretending to know the lyrics to a song. Having a match with aliens.
We'll lose.
And the final one, going to Germany.
Big yeet by the both of them there. Alex, shout out to you. So this is the last thing in the fun folder. It's just Undertaker from back in the day.
Rest in peace. Rest in pieces. Slam jam. Keeps me in pieces. The Undertaker's tombstone will bury you. The man in black has nothing to say. Rest in peace.
There we go. Just a little clip of Undertaker. I think this might be whilst they were recording the wrestling album that came out in the 90s. And so that might be him just like recording some lines for that. Seeing The Undertaker break character like this is so wild. It is wild, actually. Certainly seeing it from that time period. I mean, now, you know, you can watch a podcast and him kind of chatting away, but back then, just never broke kayfabe, The Undertaker. So, yeah, it is kind of weird seeing that. Okay, let's go, community. Ryan, shout out to you, bud. Getting some likes from Wrestling Days. Well done, my friend. No, it's Karrion, really. Karrion is the one. There's the like from Karrion. Tristan, shout out to you. Said probably shouldn't, but I had to get it. It's a great figure. I wouldn't pass it up. Yeah, it's a great figure. Ryan said, these are my new shop merch items. So, Ryan, shout out to you there. We've got a nice Wyatt 6. I feel like I'm in the way. Wyatt 6 shirt with Bray on as well. That is great. Yeets. Look at that. Ready for WrestleMania. Ready to celebrate. Surely Jay gets the job done at WrestleMania. And you'll be fully decked out with the glasses and the shirt. So there we go. So Ryan, shout out to you, buds. Look at this. Ace making me as an action figure. Amazing. Perfect. Coming to the Wrestling Days store very soon. World Hardcore Wrestling said, my wise man gifted me this. It's Unforgiven 2003, and it's still in good condition. Do you know what? Vintage wrestling shirts always do really well. Prices of old shirts kind of really hold their value. So, I mean, that's a lovely item to have. So, World Hardcore Wrestling, shout out to you, buds. Dexter getting a follow from Nikita Lyon, so shout out to you. And TJF1983 said I got a like and a repost from Mark Henry. So TJF1983, shout out to you as well. So there we go. That was everything. I don't think there was any other, was there? Oh, was there? Did we miss it? Oh, there's only a couple of things. I almost missed it. Alexa Bliss getting a Soraya package. So that's got the book, a little card, Lexi, love you so much, sister. A few little bits in there. We saw AJ get one of these, but nice to see she's sending them out to quite a few people. So, Brady, thank you. And yeah, okay, so do you remember yesterday with Tiffany and she pressed that button and like pretended to be a robot? Well, apparently this is something to do with Black Mirror, the new season of Black Mirror. And I think they've been like handing them out to celebrities. That's Jay, isn't it? So looks like Jay had one as well. These little buttons that you kind of put on the side of your head and pretend that you're a robot. So what is nubbin? It's a terrifying memory curating brain chip that has gone viral. So Pete said, that nubbin thing, it's a Netflix Black Mirror promotion. So there we go. Now we know what that was all about. It was promotion for Black Mirror. So thank you, my friend. And talking of thanks, let's work our way through. I thought this was really good, actually. I'm looking at it now going, yeah, he is coming in soon. That was a fun moment. He has been added to SmackDown. I thought that was a pretty good one. Anyway, Larry, shout out to you. Carr, thank you, my friends. Casper, shout out to you. Wendy Lucho, appreciate it, buds. Wrestle Knight, shout out to you. Jang Tae Sang, thank you, my friends. CM Chunk, shout out to you. Our wrestling podcast, thank you, my friend. Huddle Talk, shout out to you. Playboy, appreciate it, buds. OTC, shout out to you. Chris, appreciate it. Claire Webb, thank you, my friend. Sweet Chin Wrestling, shout out to you. Wrestling's biggest fan, shout out to you. Bradley, shout out to you. Big Bam, shout out to you. And Tony, who just interrupted, shout out to you. Praying User Sports, shout out to you. Stuart, shout out to you, my friends. Wild Child Billy, shout out to you. MLW Flash, shout out to you. Babs the Barbarian, shout out to you. Patrick, appreciate the support, buds. And Las Vegas Matt, appreciate the support as well. So there we go. That was Unseen. Thank you for all the support. And I will see you again tomorrow for SmackDown.